In this video, we're going to discuss the BRRRR method and using entities. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, so the BRRRR method, what is that? I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. That's what intrigued you into clicking on this video. But it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. A lot of R's inside of there. Now, when it comes to using entities, what does this mean? Because if you watch many of my other videos, we talk about putting properties in limited liability companies or land trust or maybe even a corporation or in a self-directed retirement account. How does the BRRRR method fit into all of that? Well, in that particular case, entities are going to take a back seat to that method. And here's why. Let me just show you what happens with the life cycle on those types of properties. So you buy your property right here. And then you come over here to your property and you bring out your hammer and you start fixing it up. So now you've rehabbed the property. Great. So now we got this property rehabbed. Then we go out there and we advertise it and we end up renting the property to these individuals right here. And they come in, they move into our house, and now it's a rental. So at this point in time, if you watch my other videos, I will tell you, all right, if you have rental property, you want to protect it because who knows what's going to happen when those people move into the house. Somebody gets hurt on the property, you're going to get sued because you're the owner of the property. So you want asset protection. So here's what you decide to do. You call me up and you say, hey, Clint, I need to get a limited liability company set up. So we set up this LLC to protect the property. But remember, with the BRRRR method, there's a couple R's there. We've already done the buy, okay? So we did that. We've done the rehab, taken care of that. We've done the rent, we've taken care of that. Now we need to do the refinance portion of this deal. And so what happens here is if you jump in and throw a limited liability company around this property before you've done the refi, you're going to run into some problems here on this type of transaction because most deals or brokers that you're going to work with, if you're trying to refi your property, if this is single family, they're going to want it in your own name. So you've got a problem because it's in a limited liability company. And if your broker is going to write a Freddie Fannie conforming loan, this isn't happening. It doesn't qualify for that type of loan. This would probably qualify if you're going to go to a local community lender and refinance the property and they're going to treat it as a portfolio loan. You could probably jump in here and put the LLC around your property. But if you're going to a broker, hey man, you just blew it. Game over. There's no third R here in this deal. Your money's going to be trapped there unless you do this. You go over here, you pull the property back out into your name, then you approach the lender to do a refi. Now, when they run title, what are they going to find? They're going to see that you bought the house from this investor here. Okay, you bought it in your own name, actually. So there's one deed. Here's two deeds. There's three deeds. So within a period of, let's say it took you 3 months to do this, there's been 3 property transfers. Now you got another issue you're going to probably have to deal with in working with your lender. Is that property being churned? So you want to make sure you're getting the maximum value for that property so you can pull out as much money as possible to go back and do that fourth R there, repeat. But when the lender or broker looks at this, the underwriter is going to say, wait a minute, this property's been bouncing around. I don't know what the true value may be on this. And they get skittish. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When you're using the BRRRR method and you're setting all this up, get done with the BRRRR before you start focusing on the entities. Because that critical step here, the third R, where you need your cash out of the deal, you don't want to screw that up by using a business entity ahead of time to encapsulate the property. So you get it done after you've done the rehab, you got the refinance, the money's back in your name, in your pocket, then go back and slip the LLC around it. Now, before you start wondering, well, Clint, what about the due on sale clause? They're going to accelerate my note. Don't worry, I got you covered. I got another video on that as well that talks about the due on sale clause, and you'll understand it's not an issue. So wait to do your limited liability company until you're done with step 3, or the R, the third R in your transaction, before you try to protect your property. All right, guys, hey, be sure to check out my other videos on LLCs, using them for asset protection. And if you're not a subscriber, be sure to click on that subscriber link right now and subscribe to the channel. And here's why. I get a lot of questions from people who view the channel asking me, well, Clint, what about the Corporate Transparency Act that passed in front of Congress? Or what about using solo 401ks? And I always have to go and find the links for them. Whereas if you were just a subscriber, every time I post a new video, you would get notified of that. So you'd be up to date with the latest techniques and strategies we're using to protect our real estate. All right, take care, everyone.